Positive, feel-good radio. This is E-Radio.
It is time for Greatness Coaching with Heidi M right here on E-Radio. And today we're talking about perfectly imperfect, how to accept your flaws. Heidi, hello, how are you?
Hey, Ian, I am super. Thank you. It's great to hear your voice.
And it is so great to hear your lovely radio actress voice as well. Heidi, today we're talking about, last week we spoke about social media and filters and losing touch with reality. Today we're talking about accepting your flaws. And I mean, nobody's perfect, but social media and celebrity role models pressure us to be in perfect shape, even though they are not looking like that in real life, because they've got help, they've got filters, they've got Photoshop and people doing their hair and all that kind of stuff. We can't look like that when we go to Pick and Pay.
But do you want to look like that when you go to Pick and Pay, Ian? What would the purpose be?
Well, it is a public appearance, but nowadays you've got nowadays you've got your mask and everything to hide behind. I actually like that.
Yes, I must say it has come in handy a few times for me as well.
I'm sure.
If you put a mask on and your dark glasses and a bit of a hat, nobody knows that you didn't comb your hair or that you are having a facial expression that says, "Oh, my soul this week is too long." So yeah, it can save your bacon. But when all is said and done, you still have to come home and look at yourself and be with yourself and live with yourself. And it's going to be very hard to do that if you're not accepting of your own flaws. You can fool people, but you can't fool yourself. Deep down inside, you still know the truth. And if the truth about you upsets you, it's a long, miserable life that you're going to have. We need to learn to accept our flaws because we don't want to be susceptible to people's judgment. So once you've learned to accept your flaws, to accept things that you can't change about yourself, you are not susceptible to people's judgments or their opinions of you. And that is great. Nobody can shame you or hold anything against you, anything regarding your flaws against you. You can embrace the fact that you are human and that you are learning every day and that you still have a long way to go. We all always have a long way to go. Nobody is perfect. And, I had a client yesterday and we were talking about being a perfectionist and wanting to do everything perfectly. And I said to her, just stop trying. Don't worry. You're never going to get there. The same way that I'm never going to get there. Perfection doesn't exist. And those of us who are trying and striving for perfection are very lonely. Because nobody wants to be with somebody who is so close to perfect. Because we all know deep down we are not. And we want to be with people who are like us. We don't want to turn around every time we've sat on the lounge couch to fix the pillow, to place that scatter cushion exactly correctly the way it should be. Nobody wants to do that. We want to live. We want to live and relax. By that, I don't mean you must be a slob and you must never tidy. I just mean that perfection is not required. Your best is. You need to do your best. Nobody asked you to be perfect, but you have to do your best. And you have to accept your own flaws. And the way you do that is by not comparing yourself to others. You must compare yourself to the way you were yesterday and the day before. We need to grow. Every day we need to be a tiny bit better than we were the day before. And still we won't reach perfection. So don't worry about that. be a better version of yourself. Be the best version of yourself that you can. Every day, decide, I'm going to be the best version of myself. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring my best to this party, meaning to this day. Don't compare yourself to others. It is not realistic to do that, because like you said, people going to a shopping center, in social media, on social media, these movie stars and film stars looking like $1 million and like they just stepped out of a magazine. It's not realistic. And for you to be in South Africa and compare yourself to that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Compare yourself to yourself. You need to see the balance here. See your flaws in context. And let's just quickly define flaws. If you know that you have a really bad temper, that is not a flaw. That is a problem, and you need to fix it. That is a completely different conversation. By flaws, I mean the cellulite, the little bit of the tummy hanging over, perhaps the one eye markedly smaller than the other. Maybe you don't look great in Levi's. I mean those kinds of flaws. Maybe a flaw that prevents you from memorizing things quickly. Accept that you maybe don't have the best memory in the world and work on it. Try and better yourself every single day, and then look back at yourself and say, wow, yesterday I didn't manage, or last week I didn't manage to remember this, that, and the other, but look, I've practiced. This is what I've done, and now I'm comparing myself to myself, and I'm seeing how I am improving. This is remarkable. This is wonderful. So change what you can and accept what you can't change. Plastic surgery is not for everybody. And even plastic surgery will make you look like not yourself.
Yeah, and also once you start...
is to be yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, then there's another addiction all on its own.
Yeah,
and that's a really
once you start like, I'm just going to do the nose, and then next week you're doing the ears, and then a month later you're doing your chin, and before you know it, you end up looking like Joan Rivers or Cher. Sure looks great.
Exactly. And you'll be bankrupt because they can afford it. You most probably can't.
Exactly.
Maybe you just want to spend your fortune and your riches on something more worthwhile.
Exactly.
So see the balance in you. Nothing is ever completely good or completely bad. Guard your thoughts. Thoughts create feelings, and your feelings create your behavior. So guard your thoughts, guard what you are thinking about yourself. It's a mindset that you have to adopt. And then still, and once more, and I say this so often, is to practice gratitude daily, because gratitude is the highest frequency you can vibrate at. And if you practice gratitude and you actively find a few things that you can be grateful for every day, Eon, suddenly things come into focus and things balance out, and you can see for yourself. And then, I just want to leave the listeners with this thought that you need to look after yourself. Your body and your mind and your spirit, those three things work together. You're not just a spirit, or not just a mind, or not just a body on earth. You have all three. And the one feeds into the other. So look after yourself. Eat properly. It's so easy to know what to eat and what is good for you and what is bad for you. Have a nourishing diet. Move regularly. Get moving. I don't know how many times did we say this to each other last year, Eon. Get moving.
Yeah.
Rest often. You need to sleep enough. Be mindful. Don't underestimate how the mind and the body and the spirit work together and how they feed off each other. You can't neglect the one and expect the other two to flourish.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when I say, if you see you don't have the greatest memory, work on it. By working on it, you are going to encourage yourself to newer heights in the other two areas of your composition, the body, mind, spirit composition, what you were made up of. It's so much easier to handle the body and to understand how the body functions if your mind is right, if the three are connected. And insofar as the spirit is concerned, I don't understand. I think it must be so difficult for people who believe in nothing. There must be something higher than yourself that you believe in, that you hold on to. I'm not in a position to tell anybody what to believe, but you cannot just have yourself. It's not necessary. It's not difficult. It's just difficult. So find those connections for yourself. And when all is said and done, just finding that connection, body, mind, and spirit, is already going to put you onto a path of being more accepting of yourself.
Wise words, Heidi, as always. Thank you so much. How do we get in touch with you?
Yes, I can be contacted on Facebook at Greatness Coaching with Heidi M, and on Instagram at Greatness Coaching. I would love to hear from the listeners, and it was wonderful to talk to you again today. Eon, look after yourself.
Heidi, likewise. And also remember, if you have any suggestions for us, topics you want us to discuss, let us know. You can contact us via eRadio website as well, or just send us a WhatsApp on the WhatsApp line, or an email to eon at eradiosa.co.za. That's EON. Heidi, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Keep well.
You too.